and then I'm going to do like a cut at the end of
Power
the year.
in the kisser. Sorry.
Go Broncos. We got this.
Why are the Nuggets
Welcome
struggling
to the
with
Sportz Phenz
Right in the
Show.
kisser.
The show where, just like you, we can't get
Struggling
enough
with the
sports.
Wizards.
The 47-year wait is
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Soundbite coming?
yeah. We'll have to do that for sure. New shoes. You know, I heard
The
you
11-year wait is over.
could allowing bombs.
What?
F-bombs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
So I can
Hey!
say fuck the Bears good?
I guess so far, yeah. We'll see if we get to.
It's going to get us canceled, bro.
Sorry.
Demonetized.
Our huge Chicago fan base. Sorry.
Oh, speaking of our fan base, welcome to the Sportz Phenz Show. Sportz Phenz. I am Arthur Knight, and with me is Michael Wharton and Mr. Ryan Lagan. Fellas, a great weekend in sports. Some good games. Some were pretty good. I don't know, man. There's a lot to talk about this weekend, but I obviously Denver Broncos fan. We live in Denver, so we're gonna focus a lot of this show on the Denver game. But before we get to that, the Broncos. But before we get to that, man,
Read off my thing.
I think
bro.
that we're going to send some Buffalo Bills fans to iEnvy Vision because they need their eyes checked. And iEnvy Vision is devoted to offering affordable and fashionable eyewear. iEnvy is your eye care advocates. Their goal is to provide all with the education and awareness needed to make an informed decision about your vision and health. They are located in Aurora off of Alameda and Buckley, but you can call today at 720-762-4290 or book online at ienvyvision.com. They take most medical insurance and Medicaid, so call or book today, 720-762-4290 or ienvyvision.com. That's 720-762-4290 or ienvyvision.com. iEnvyVision, we see you. All right, so
you got to read the script. See how it sounds.
script.
Yeah, read the semi-script.
Where are we at here? Oh,
Yeah, you got to do that.
all right. Vinny wants me to do a live read here.
Yeah, bro.
All right, let's see here.
No
go.
rehearsal.
You're tuned into So High Media Network, the heartbeat of Denver from 4300 West Alameda. We don't talk, just talk the game. We live it. How's that, buddy?
Yeah, keep going.
All right, are you want me to read all of these?
Yeah, it's
All
good.
right. Whether you're catching the deep dive industry talk, the Adam Dunn Show, or the raw fan energy of Sportz Phenz, you're in the pit now, and in the pit, we feed the soul. Stop by So High Cafe for our signature Viper Pit barbecue. We're talking 14-hour smoked brisket featuring world-class Ozo coffee rub and that 5-cheese mac. It's the fuel that powers the broadcast. So High Studios, where the culture meets the court. Visit us at sohighcafe.com or pull up to 4300 West Alameda. Now back to the show.
Boom.
All right, that's my announcer voice.
Let's go.
Nice. Mic drop.
Welcome to the Sportz Phenz.
Sportz Phenz. All right, guys. So, first question. I know if you're in Buffalo, the answer is it's a catch.
Oh, God.
Even they're trying to even coin it the catch. It was not a catch. It was the interception.
I can't believe you're dignifying this with a segment, but okay.
I
Go ahead.
mean, it's like the
Ryan and I are going to go check out outside.
I mean, it's just funny to me that we obviously have been talking about it all week, all over sports media, everywhere. But it's just hilarious to me how ignorant some people are to the actual rules of the game. Not peewee football, not college football. All levels of football have different rules, okay? Like,
I think it's a pick on every level, isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah, pretty
it would be a pick on every level. I'm not going to lie, but there are different rules for every level.
I
Like if you have a
Canadian
patch,
football.
I mean, if you're too heavy in your age group when you're a kid in peewee football, what does that mean? You get a patch, right? You're gonna be an offensive lineman all season. There's different rules, but this one is the Calvin Johnson rule. Okay, pretty simple. Have to control the ball all the way through. If the receiver had caught the ball, took 2 steps, not caught the ball falling down, okay, that's what happened. He caught the ball falling down. He didn't take 2-3 steps and had the ball secured. He caught the ball falling down. But had he caught the ball, took 2 or 3 steps, got tackled, and then the ball got taken away, that would have been down by contact. That's pretty obvious. What do y'all think? Like, is the boo-hoos coming out of Buffalo is just like, oh my God, it's overwhelming. I agree that I want to take the air out of it. I really do.
I'd say,
but it's just funny.
You would have saw it in his face when he lost the ball when he got up. He would have been going, but he knew. He knew he got jabbed.
He's still online saying that it was a catch. He thinks it was a catch.
Yeah, but his body, to Vinny's point though, his body language in the moment.
Yeah,
he knew. He knew that wasn't a catch.
He stuck
his head. Was it
ostrichid?
Was it a bang play? Of course it was. Yeah. Yes. Like, if you're a Bills fan, like, do you wish it was called the other way? Of course you did. But the outcry nationally, had it been called a completion and not an interception, would have just been even more ridiculous than what we're giving airtime to right now, right? I don't want, honestly, Denver fans, don't let whoever it is that is in Arthur's ear talking about this stuff, don't let it take away from the magic of that moment. I mean, think about what that meant to the franchise, even the way it played out, right? I was watching it back and I just because when they go down, you can't see the ball, right? He's got his back to the camera, and so I'm thinking in real time, it's definitely it's in Cook's hands right now, this is a catch. And then when all of a sudden, like a rabbit out of a hat, McMillan produces the ball as he stands up and Cooks has no ball. Right. I mean, how did you not lose your mind when that happened? So if you're going to let, cranky, never going to win anything relevant Buffalo fans take that magic away from you, I'm sorry for you.
No, it's not taking the magic. It's just, was it a catch or was it an interception?
It was an interception.
It was an interception.
All day long, twice on Sunday.
It's settled. It's completely ridiculous that their coach, now former coach, sat up there and had his little tirade and completely neglecting the 20 other things that happened in that game where they gave the game to the Broncos.
Right. The 2 or 3 other interceptions that Josh Allen threw in the game. Let's take that one out.
Five turnovers,
2 fumbles that he had.
Yeah,
4 got points, 20 extra points.
None of that.
None of that was a factor?
Affected the outcome of the game. I mean, they gave the game away as a silver platter.
I got to imagine if that was McDermott's first or second playoff loss and not his 8th or whatever it was. And he didn't know that he was on the hot seat and he was potentially getting walked out the next day. To me, that was, him crying for help, please don't take my job away. I don't think that that's a reasonable.
He beats me when you're not here.
Right, exactly. Exactly. If he's got no concern about his job security, he doesn't stand up there and go, I'm standing up for Buffalo.
Right.
Come on.
Dude, he had to have known he was going to get fired, and yet and still he stood up there at that podium and really tried to call that a catch.
Made an ass out of himself. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What are we
come on,
talking
man.
about?
Every person that has been coming up to me, and because of course, I wear Denver stuff all the time. Work doesn't matter. I'm wearing Denver gear. People coming up, oh, that was a catch. I'm like, okay, let me put it to you this way. If, let's say the defender's not there, Cooks catches the ball, doesn't take a step, he falls down, and as he's rolling, the ball pops out. Is it a catch? Is it a catch?
Sure ain't.
Same thing, except for the ball never hit the ground. So the defender had every right to the ball. Settled.
He didn't finish the process.
Settled.
Got to finish the process.
So let's move on.
If he's got it in his hands for another, let's say, half second, and then he rips it out on the ground, I can see the argument. But you're right. No, you're right.
He kept it going, though. No, he said it. No, we got to.
Let's talk more.
Let's keep it moving.
All right, so that leads me to my next question.
Okay.
Was it poor officiating, or was it a bad performance by quote-unquote Superman Josh Allen?
It was a very bad performance by Josh Allen. He got his coach fired.
I mean...
Okay, but
no, it was not. It was not like a normal on par Josh Allen performance for sure. His normal heroics were kind of.
He got out heroed.
Yeah, but Bo Nix was out there.
Bo Nix beat him on 1 foot
Bo Nix outplayed him. Bo Nix wasn't even super fantastic, but he was better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a bad game, and it was a bad day to have a bad game, but he seems to have a lot of those during the playoffs.
Even
Amen,
if
brother.
The 3 at the end, he still got him right back down the field every time they turned over the ball. He
Exactly.
got him down the field.
Exactly.
20 extra points.
I think it's worth acknowledging, like, if Bo Nix and Josh Allen had been traded before the start of the season, that Bills roster is probably like 8-9, and they're not even in that game in the first place. But
only because of the coaching.
the
coach goes a long way with how good Bo Nix is playing right now.
I'm talking about the roster too, but that as well for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously Josh Allen's the only reason they're there in the first place, and he did make a lot of big plays in that game after making a lot of big plays in the Jacksonville game. But you can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win playoff games.
He's got one of the best running backs in football, one of the best tight ends, two or three fairly good tight ends. One top 15 wide receiver, right? Or maybe 20.
Who?
Doesn't he have Diggs?
No, Diggs is in New England.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Why are you tripping?
I'm tripping.
Why are you tripping?
They got
we
no.
Cut that. That's a soundbite right there. Why are you tripping?
They got 0 wide receivers there. To your point, they did get a better running game this year.
That's true.
But
That's true.
He's part of that running game too. Don't forget. That's part of that equation. But I get your point.
I mean, but
that's why I gave him 8 wins.
Bro, real
8-9.
quick though, real quick side note. Did y'all see that hit from Hufanga?
Yeah, I saw it like about 30 times.
Like he smacked 2 dudes in that game. 2. He put the tight end. What's his name? What's that boy's name? I don't know how that boy held on to the ball, let alone his head. That hit.
that was quite the hit.
Oh my God, I would never want to be hit by Hufanga ever.
It doesn't matter what's going on with how good a coach that McDermott is, because obviously him and Josh Allen aren't good for each other. And they're gonna pick the quarterback over the coach, obviously, especially a quarterback like Allen. But
just ask John Harbaugh.
Like little things like, I mean, running a play with 16 seconds left in the first half instead of kneeling. You know what I mean? That was about as dumb as it gets, and that's a big reason probably why he's looking for a job.
He's probably gonna get
one could argue that there was poor officiating. Okay.
Well, yeah, there's always poor officiating. Every single game within the entire season, it goes both ways. Sometimes it might be a little bit
lopsided. Last year, the Broncos got screwed so many times on lopsided plays. This year, they so happen to win those lopsided plays. It's the nature of the beast. Get over it. But
Texans got robbed.
There's a couple bad calls against that did not favor the Broncos. You know what I'm saying?
Holding in the end zone in overtime. And for starters.
See, the safety. That game would have been over.
But here's the thing, because I don't know, and I've been trying to research it, trying to figure out what exactly how does that work? Because the holding started on the 1-yard line, and then it went in. And
it's where the quarterback. It's where the ball is when the holding call occurs.
The quarterback could be on the 4-yard line, and if the holding occurs in the end zone, it's still a safety.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm gonna have
to look on that.
Yeah, no, that's what I read.
As long as if he's in the pocket, it's supposed to be if he's in the pocket.
Mike's got it.
And he can't escape. No.
That's spot of the foul. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure that even if he was out of the end zone and the holding occurred in the end zone, that's going to be a safety. But the holding
period, he was in the end zone and they were holding in the end zone.
Yeah, they started on the 1-yard line and then it spilled into the end zone though. It spilled into the end zone. I think it probably just depends on when the referees see it.
I didn't know that you could headlock a man and armbar him. I didn't know this was MMA.
Yeah.
And they held that flag, and that, you'd have even more conversation about the officiating if the game ended that way.
There's another one that's going around like social media with the Marvin Mims. They're like people in Buffalo are actually saying that was not pass interference.
Which one?
Like when it was a bomb throw when Mims went to go catch it and it hit him in one hand. But the dude was tackling him, like holding his arm and around his waist, not even looking at the ball.
The 3-yard line.
Right.
Yeah, that one was obvious.
But there's circulation of the video. Like, how is this PI? Like, are you blind? Like I said, go see IMV Vision because he was tackling him before the ball got there, and Mims still almost caught the ball.
Yeah, this is one thing I think national media got right about this game is like the only the play before that, the PI before that, I could see
questionable
being upset with that call.
Yeah, questionable.
But again, the whole thing is there was also a not questionable roughing the passer call on that play.
Right.
That's a 2-yard difference that Denver got out of getting the PI instead of the roughing the passer. So
right.
It
works against or for you in some way throughout a game for every team. And it really depends upon how many mistakes is seen. Let's just put it that way. Because every team makes mistakes. There's always – what did John Madden used to say every single time? There's holding on every play. It's just did the ref see it? And I'm paraphrasing, but I believe he would say that all the time. Like, there's holding every play. Like, there really is. There's holding every single play. And there's PI every single play. Offense and defense.
There's always hand fighting.
If the ref doesn't see it, this is my favorite thing in basketball, even though it drives me, the officiating in basketball is the worst sometimes. But if the ref didn't see it, it didn't happen. But in the case of the Cook interception, that was just clear. McMillan literally just took his cookies. If I were him, I'd call the police because he got robbed. He basically took his rock and went home. Handed it to the referee and went back to the huddle, man.
And don't let the controversy, so to speak, take away from how great of a play that was. I mean, the whole season's on the line. He's not catching the ball at the same time as Cooks in that situation. He's got to find the ball as Cooks is bringing it into his body as they're going down to the ground.
Right.
He manages to do that and do it well enough to rip the ball out of his hands. Again, with both team seasons on the line.
Even if Cooks secured it first, he did not secure it all the way through the ground.
What an athletic play, man.
It was a great play by McMillan.
Yeah.
And kudos to him because there's been a couple of seasons where he's been the thorn in the Broncos' side of why a bomb went over his head. So this is the one time he got to shine, man. But here's the thing. After all of that and the Broncos winning, and it was a great game, to be honest with you. I would have been devastated had the Broncos lost, but I would have been what's the word I'm looking for? I'd have been looking forward to next year. I would have been
encouraged,
enthusiastic about next season, even if the Broncos had lost that game. Just the way they played it, especially Bo Nix. Like, he didn't have a spectacular game, but that dude's a gamer. I don't care what anybody says. The moment's never too big for him. As Vinny said earlier in this show, like, it seemed like every time Buffalo decided to, show their ass, he would be like, "Oh, that's cute. Let me show you." Josh Allen. In that game. Josh Allen usually does that to people. Like, oh, well, okay, we'll wear you down, and then we'll do a last-minute drive and beat you. Not this time. Not against this defense. But here's the downside to that. Bo Nix did break his ankle, right? I personally don't think the play was dirty. I don't necessarily think that the defender needed to grab and twist his ankle either. But I don't necessarily think it's a dirty play, seeing as Bo Nix can scorch you, right? He can smoke you. If you're not careful, he might pause, run another 5 yards, then kneel or then slide, et cetera, et cetera. So to that point, I don't want to say it was dirty, but here's a question, and Mike, you take it first. You've watched Stidham. We've seen Stidham. We've seen Stidham in New England, right? We've seen Stidham in the play for the Raiders. We've seen him against us. He's actually smoked the Broncos at least once in a game as a quarterback for the Raiders. Can the Denver Broncos still win this game on Sunday without Bo Nix?
It's interesting because Stidham is a different style of Bo, and they've kind of established like a little bit of like their groove, the Broncos so far this season.
Almost like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, but just, like with Bo's capabilities, he's got wheels, you know what I'm saying? He can run, he can make some magic happen, on his own when the plays fall apart, whereas Stidham has like a much better arm. And, Stidham looked good in preseason, and from everything I've heard and read, he was damn near perfect in training camp. So, he
was embarrassing the first-team defense is what I heard coming out of camp.
I think that given that with the trials that they've gone through this season with Bo, he's still growing and still learning, and so Sean Payton has had to make his game plans to maybe, I guess, compensate for that a little bit. That is going to be a little bit more of a smooth transition, switching to the backup for this AFC Championship game. Okay. Given that it's not basically relying on a laser show or just some crazy aggressive football. It's more about that. I don't want to say conservative, but a game plan.
It's going to be the same offense, just running in a different way.
Just as long as Stidham can keep the ball safe, you know what I'm saying, and not make any mistakes. Don't take too many negative plays. Minimize the turnovers.
He's going to throw one.
Because that's going to be a key to this game is the turnover differential.
Right.
I think. I mean, the Broncos are going to have to get some takeaways, which they haven't been. The defense hasn't been great at that during the regular season, but they were pretty. They've been kind of stepping it up. It seems like in the last 2 games, as far as getting some takeaways, and even if the defense could score, that would be nice too. You know what I mean?
I don't know if the defense necessarily needs to score. That would be nice, but they definitely need to. If they can get after,
it's just a bonus. You know what I mean? That would be nice. If they can
get after Drake May like they did Josh Allen, then it's going to be a long day for New England. I'm going to keep my take a little bit here reserved because I want to hear what Ryan has to say when it comes to can the Broncos without Bo Nix, because I know you've got one foot in each door here. You're kind of a Broncos fan too, but you like New England, right? You're not like a hater of New England. I know you're a Green Bay fan, like that's your fandom. But I have a second team.
He's still mad at the Broncos, aren't you?
No.
Old news.
He roots for the Broncos on Sundays. They don't play Green Bay.
Yeah,
that's facts.
No, I told you, I don't blame that game on what happened to our season. I blame Micah Parsons' knee, but it is what it is. No, I would say the Pats. I never rooted for them growing up. Actually, it's funny, but now that I've moved away from that part of the country, I just knowing how much of my family and friends root for them, they're probably in that 3rd spot in my list, sort of thing too. Where whoever wins this game is probably who I pull for in the Super Bowl, because right. I'm certainly not going to pull for the Seahawks or the Rams. I can tell you that.
What?
That being said, no, of course the Broncos can win this game. Obviously it's favorable for them in a few different ways. Mile High is incredibly difficult to play. This defense is, they're ready to go, man. And, this is not a place that the Patriots have been before as a team. We're not talking about
not this team.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about a 13-win Chiefs team that they're taking on, right?
There's only one person on that team that has been here before.
Yeah.
And that's their OC.
McDaniels.
McDumbass.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, not the person that, is giving you overwhelming confidence about everybody else, right? No, this is new for them, right? The window is open, and obviously, you don't know what you're going to get with Stidham, of course, right? He hasn't been in anything resembling this situation his entire life, and there's no real runway to get there. But here's what you have going for you, right? You have Sean Payton, the play caller. You have, him believing that Jarrett Stidham is a starting caliber quarterback in this league, right? You have, preseason is what it is. I get that. Training camp is what it is. But guess what? Just like we talk about, Patriots easy schedule. All you can do is beat the teams that are in front of you.
That's it.
If you're Stidham, all you can do is win the reps that you get the opportunity to get. And he's been amazing when he's gotten the opportunities. If you guys remember, it wasn't too long ago where, there was the pseudo quarterback battle where Sean Payton wanted, Bo Nix to win the starting quarterback job. Of course, we knew Bo Nix was getting the job no matter what.
He was handpicked.
He was the first round pick. But, from what I remember from that training camp was that Stidham was going rep for rep with Bo Nix.
He pushed him.
If not playing better a lot of days.
He pushed him.
There's no, lack of confidence, I think, within this Broncos Broncos team about what Stidham's capable of.
Right.
Would they rather have, Nix out there? Of course they would. But, Stidham doesn't have to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, man. All he has to do is not
throw 4 interceptions.
Not lose the game, right. May has fumbled the ball more than anybody else in the league this year, right? If you can force that many turnovers out of Josh Allen.
He gets sacked a lot, too.
That's what I'm saying. All it takes is, a couple of these kind of turnovers from May. Maybe you don't give the ball away yourself. If you win the turnover battle by 3.
By +2?
Let's say
plus
2 or 3,
okay,
right?
I was going to say +2. You know what I'm saying? +2 would be comfortable.
I think +2 gives you a
that
shot
gives you a
at
shot.
winning.
Yeah.
I think +3 is where they
win.
need to try to get to with just all the question marks around. Because, Stidham, of course, is not going to have the same timing with the offense that everybody else is, but they don't have film on him either. So there's factors in both directions.
So here's my take on why New England's going to have an issue. I don't think the Broncos are just going to storm in there, obviously, without their starting quarterback and just beat the crap out of New England or, actually New England coming here. But here's the thing. When it comes to Drake May, I'm not discounting this dude. And I talked to an associate of mine at work about this yesterday, and he tried to say, Drake May's not all that great. Look at his competition that he had to play, that he had a weak schedule, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, yeah, he had a weak schedule, and he still played to the top performance, like exceeded all expectations of him this season. But here's the point that this young man made that kind of was like, gave me pause. The one time he did come up against a good, solid defense in Buffalo, right? Because Buffalo was nothing to sneeze at. They had a rocky run defense, but their corners are elite. Their defensive backfield is elite. Drake May folded in that game. He did. They were up 20-something points, maybe 21, 24 points or something to that effect. And then in the second half, Josh Allen'd him. So to that point, that to me gives the Broncos a chance even with Stidham. I don't know if the Broncos, personally, my gut feeling says that the Broncos can still win this game just because of the coach they have. I think Sean Payton's too arrogant to lose. He's one of those people that hates losing more than he loves winning. Does that make sense? Like, it just, like he just seems like one of those people. So I would expect the Broncos to come out really, really tight. I just hope that Josh Stidham or Jarrett Stidham shakes off the nerves within the first drive, because this man has not thrown a football in a game situation in 2 years. So I am just hopeful in this game that the Broncos just don't go in there and crap the bed. But I don't foresee that happening, not with this coaching staff. But I could see New England actually winning this game. But if the Denver Broncos defense can get after Drake May and rattle him, he'll get happy feet. And I think he will start throwing picks. He will start fumbling. He will take sacks. So that's the one key thing that the Denver Broncos have going into every game going forward, is they still have that top 3 defense. They still have the best corners in the league. They still have, Singleton caused a forced fumble too against a top 3 running back in the league, right? Dude was running all over the Denver Broncos in that game until right then, until he got smacked in that C gap, and that ball said, boop. Oh my God. Again, how did he hold on? He didn't hold on to the ball. I don't know how he held on to his head though, because man, he got smacked. But speaking of this weekend going up, let's talk about the 4. There's 2 games, right? There's 4 teams. There's 2 games. Let's start with the NFC, okay? And if there's some time, let's talk some b-ball, because it looks like the Denver Nuggets might be pulling out.
They won.
Did they already pull it
by
out?
10.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Why do they have so much trouble with? We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Why are they getting? God, dog. They're in a lose-lose situation tonight too. I heard something on the way into the show, and if we can get to it, I'll talk about it. But with this new this snowstorm that's coming in tomorrow night, the Nuggets are in a quite peculiar situation. But okay, so Rams, Seahawks. experience, youth. Who's going to win? Ryan, the Seahawks have a monster defense too, man. You don't get to 14-3. That's one thing about the Denver Broncos when people talk crap about them. You don't get to New England, even when we get to that game. You have to have a pretty good defense to go 14-3 in this league.
Oh, now you're on the Seahawks defense bandwagon, huh?
I've never been.
You're picking the Niners last week, and I was trying to tell you that defense is going to be too much, but that's okay.
Broncos Hawks all the way.
It happened.
Yeah,
it happened. I don't like the 40-winers, and I still picked them.
Nice.
And I really hate the Seahawks. And Vinny's absolutely right. That's dead on. If the Seahawks could lose this week, and I'm picking the Rams, I'm going to keep picking against the Seahawks.
Can the Rams and Seahawks just both lose? Is that okay?
That would be awesome, actually.
Can they just draw and then they have to both go home, basically?
Have to flip a coin. You both lose. No. All right, so Ryan.
Yeah.
Who you with, man? Who you got? You got the Rams, you got the Seahawks. Who you with?
I think this game's kind of a microcosm of what a lot of this season has been about, and the playoffs especially, which is the battle of the better quarterback versus the better overall roster, right?
Right.
And I think this season has shown the advantage to roster, honestly. So I'm going Seahawks. I think the Rams have just been. I think if both of these teams play their A-plus game, then I think the Rams can win this game in that scenario, right? But I think the Rams have been too inconsistent, and the Seahawks are just firing on every single cylinder. And Sam Darnold doesn't have to play an A-plus game for them to really win.
He just has to not lose it for him.
Sam Darnold can play like a B-plus, maybe even a B-minus game if the defense plays good enough. And, sometimes they still win comfortably, especially at home like that, when, your offense in LA situation is going to be severely limited as far as how many, options you have to change the play at the line of scrimmage. There's going to be none of that. You get 2 plays every single time, and if the defense puts you in a position where you don't like either of them, tough, you're gonna have to deal with it anyway. So I think obviously Matt Stafford has fewer chances at getting back to this point than any other quarterback that's still in the playoffs, and by sheer force of will, he's not going to let this be a blowout. He's going to keep him in this game, but I think the Seahawks do just enough to beat them with all the advantages that they have coming in. All
right, Mike, who you with?
I'm gonna go with I think I'm leaning towards the Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? Kind of for similar reasons as Ryan, just because they got kind of like a more well-rounded
balance.
A balance to their game, as far as that goes. And they've been maybe they ended the season pretty hot, whereas there's times where there was a little bit of fizzle coming from the Rams. I really like Matthew Stafford, though. I feel like, he's capable of some...
He's been there before.
He's capable of heroics, even though he's, in football years, ancient, and he's probably got, a bionic back, and he's, barely keeping it together. I mean, the man's going to just turn into dust one of these days, one of these sacks that he takes, but... I think
still got 276 yards this year.
Yeah, no, he's
on the Phillip Rivers timeline. He's got another decade. He's
that's right. Well, no, he just needs to take some time off, let his back
have some
come back
grandchildren
together, and then he can get back
build
to
his own tribe.
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, no, I think that I think it's going to be a pretty good game, and I might even say maybe a somewhat high scoring game, but if Matt Stafford does his thing, but if I was a betting man, I'd probably lean towards Seattle. You know what I mean?
Okay,
that's what I'm looking at.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think that the firepower of the Rams and the experience of the Rams will be able to get past the Seahawks, even in Seattle. I just think that the Rams have been here, and yes, the Rams have been up and they have been down, but they're still 12-5. They still are a high-powered offense. Puka Nacua is, still averaging 107 yards a game, and Stafford is averaging 276 and a MVP candidate. You cannot discount that at all. But Seattle, to both of your points, Seattle does have a monster defense, and I did discount them last week. I really did think that that the mind of a Shanahan would be able to figure out this Seahawks defense. But I mean,
that was a bummer, and it was a master class in coaching as far as how the season
really
goes.
Was.
To be able to put together the season that they put together, the 49ers with literally their entire squad completely
injured,
out
decimated
for most of the season.
Right.
But that was not sustainable, and that was not going to last. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so
I thought it was going to be a closer game, but man,
real. Real quick, a little bit of a sidetrack here from the text line here. Mark says, and I want to hear what both of you have to say about this. Mainly Mike, because Mike's a Bronco fan, so he knows the reference. But I don't know if you've ever heard of Jake Plummer.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Mark says that Josh Allen is overrated, and he is Jake Plummer second coming.
No, as much as we all love Jake the Snake. You know what I'm saying? And he did take us, gave us some memorable football in his brief time as the starting quarterback.
Right.
Josh Allen maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't call him overrated,
I mean,
man.
Josh Allen has won as many championships as Jake Plummer has.
Dude, Josh Allen
I've won as many championships
Plummer,
as both of them.
I think Jake Plummer, though, has won more playoff games than Josh Allen, though.
Oh, he definitely has.
I'm going to look into that, but I'm pretty sure he has.
He's won more than 8 playoff games?
How many?
Who, Jake Plummer?
Yeah.
Don't forget, Josh Allen's
Okay.
gone from the wild card to the AFC Championship multiple times.
I don't think that Josh Allen's overrated, and I wouldn't compare him to Plummer. It's two different kind of games. Jake was a big, strong guy and everything, but I mean, Josh Allen had a bad game, and he seems to have those in the playoffs, and so that sucks. But he's still arguably maybe one of the best players in the league, so I don't see how that's overrated. I don't know. Maybe people are. Maybe he's gonna just fall apart. Maybe he's gonna do the Andrew Luck thing. You know what I'm saying? He looked really sad after that game, man. He was so sad.
That'd be crazy if we made him retire. I'm not saying you need to spell Jake Plummer with a B. He's not. He was a good quarterback for a long time, but Jake Plummer also has 5 seasons where he threw over 20 interceptions, and Josh Allen hasn't done that once in his career. It's not a fair comparison. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I mean, 1, 2. Oh no. So no, it's not a fair comparison.
No. Jake Plummer's awesome, and he has a really, really awesome podcast right now with Nate Jackson.
Yeah. It is actually really good.
Yeah, they got a pretty good podcast going over there.
Did Jake Plummer ever get an MVP vote or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
So there you go.
No.
I get the sentiment.
He's 0-1 in AFC Championship. He's 1-0 in AFC Divisional. He's 0-1 in AFC, or 1-0 in Divisional, 0-1 in AFC Wild Card, 0-1. So no, he's only won 2 playoff games ever. Jake Plummer has, and he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4. So
2-4 in the playoffs.
Big, strong guy, scrappy guy, hasn't won a Super Bowl. I get those aspects of the comparison, but it's there's more to it than that. Sorry.
Well,
Mark.
and Jake, we called him Jake the Snake here because he did a lot of running, just very similar throwing styles and everything. But Josh Allen has a stronger arm. Josh Allen is a way higher tier talent. But to your point, Mark, he's quite the disappointment. And I was arguing with somebody the other day. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, oh, the Broncos should have drafted him, and then we would have won Super Bowls. And I'm like, well, he didn't win Super Bowls in the 8 years that he's made it to the playoffs where he is. And the Broncos didn't in that same 8 years. So we really didn't lose anything.
Arguably, if that had happened, I mean, Josh Allen wouldn't be Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to say. Yeah. Butterfly effect and all that.
Yeah, I don't think that would have fixed what was going on in that time frame.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
In fact, there might
have been the same result or worse. They might have ruined Josh Allen.
It would have been a lot of maybe accusations of kind of wasting his prime, or wasting his young years and affected his transformation into the Josh Allen we see today, losing in the playoffs again.
Would every team love to have a perennial MVP candidate quarterback? Of course they would, you know. But and I'm not saying Bo Nix can't get there. It might have a little closer to the top of his ceiling to get there than Josh Allen might have appeared a couple years into his career. But we'll see.
Plumber Fitzgerald clone is what Mark said.
Plumber Fitzgerald.
Plumber
Larry?
/ I don't know what that reference is. With the same loser DNA.
Wow.
And that's a quote.
Wow. So I take it Mark's not high on Dan Marino.
Mark loves Josh Allen.
You don't get rings? You're a bum. Waste of space
now if you were going to
on an
compare
NFL
Josh
field.
Allen to anyone, that would be the comparison.
Dan Marino.
Should have gave that
Except for
MVP.
Dan Marino actually made it to a Super Bowl.
Should have gave that MVP to Lamar.
Ooh,
No,
shots fired.
he got first team All Pro. Come on, that's more important, right?
Shots fired,
Yikes.
dude. Mike tried to low key just shoot across the bow there.
I know that was a hot button subject a couple years ago. Man.
Hot Mike.
Yeah, hot Mike in the building.
All right, so moving forward to now the big game of the week here in Denver. The Pats come into Denver.
Woo!
All right, Ryan. 1 o'clock on Sunday. Who you with?
Oh man.
Wait. Before you answer, why is the Pats and Broncos game at 1 p.m. and not the 4:30 when they're both 14-3?
Because of Bo Nix's ankle.
Okay, that's fair. Now answer.
Moving on.
I y'all are gonna hate me for this.
That's okay.
I think the Broncos cover the spread. I do. But I do think that if we had met the Patriots earlier in the playoffs, then I'd like their chances more because Drake May with 0 playoff experience, I think you probably see, 4 turnover kind of game out of him, that kind of thing. But he's fresh off of playing the Chargers and the Houston defense. He didn't light the world on fire, but he got better from one week to the next, and he did put up points against both. I think Stidham plays really well and keeps them in this game, and everybody's, thankful for his performance on the other end of it. I think it's a close game, but I think the Patriots end up with the ball last, and I think May does just enough to get them over the top. That's my pick.
Oof, not
You
with
got a
this
score?
defense.
Good question. I feel like I've picked this for like every game. Let me go 23-20.
23-20.
That's the bland.
I picked it for every game, I think.
Don't ask Ryan what it's going to be. It's 23-20.
I don't like
That's
picking
so safe.
scores. I'll
Yeah.
pick deficits. I don't pick scores. Too much going to happen.
Fair enough. All right, Mike, who you with?
I mean, and I probably got my orange-colored glasses on.
Oh, I definitely do.
I always do. But I actually think that, May wasn't able to, do his normal, rocket show, just launching rockets. They didn't put up a bunch of points up against the Chargers. They put up decent amount of points up against the Texans, but
With the pick six.
But there's an interception. He got sacked 5 times, a couple fumbles, right? Didn't he fumble at least once?
He got sacked 5 times in both games, actually. But I think he fumbled twice.
Just kind of looking shaky, not looking like that, stone cold, pocket passer that he was looking like throughout the season during that terrible, just difficult schedule they had.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like as the lights are getting brighter and brighter, and the youth of the Patriots could be a factor, and I feel like that this Broncos defense has been trending upwards and looking good, and definitely up in those turnover numbers. I think they're going to win the takeaway battle, and Stidham's going to be a little shaky at first. Probably not come out of the gate hot, but be able to manage the game. And then I trust in Sean Payton's strategies, and I feel like that we're looking at a 21-13 Broncos.
Okay, I feel that. I think the Broncos can put up a little more points than 21, and here's why. Both quarterbacks. I think Lucas kind of alluded to this in the chat here, saying something of you can't really talk about QB inexperience as the Pats' problem. No, it's both teams' problem. Neither one of these teams has been here. Period. The only person on personnel, there's 2 people on one on each team that have been in this position before. Josh McDumbass for the Pats and Sean Payton for the Broncos. Those are the only 2 people in this game that have been in this position before in their current roles. Period. Every single other player and coach has never been here before. Vrabel was in Tennessee, not making the playoffs before he got Drake May.
They had a 1 seed, didn't they go to the AFC
I think they went once or twice. Yeah, not making, but like his last
division as a 1.
His last few years, the reason why he was fired is because they could not make the playoffs.
Well, he also has 3 rings as a player too, to be fair.
I mean
but
he does have that pedigree, but he's never been in his current role where he is now. As a player, you're absolutely right, but there's a lot of coach. I see what you did there.
You know what?
Gloss right over that.
I feel like since I spent a majority of this season like being more pessimistic about the Broncos,
deserve to pick them
you know
by
what I'm saying?
8 in this
I think,
game.
but now like my confidence is like took this crazy like swing.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I've been listening to a lot of local sports talk radio, and as this week has progressed, the confidence with all of the hosts of all the shows has been creeping up and up and up and up, and they're talking like so confidently.
They're talking themselves into it
because
a little
the
bit.
Broncos are going to be able to run plays that they weren't able to run with Bo,
but
with Stidham.
A big part of it is that like they're talking like Stidham is already like going to be a total. They're sure he's going to be the total stud in this game, and there's a part of me that's like, man, it could be an absolute just disaster.
He could come out and throw for like 120, like 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
It could be like that Super Bowl against Seattle, where like the first snap, the ball just bounces off of Peyton Manning's face, and the rest of the game went exactly like that. But I don't want to necessarily I don't want to foster those thoughts. I don't want to, nurture them and let them grow into reality. I'm trying to put out the positive vibes.
Right.
Look, I don't think the Broncos are going to do a barnstormer. I honestly do think they can score more points than 21, and I think Drake May, with the amount of points that he scored over this course of the season, they're going to put up points too. I almost had the score to the T last week, not in the way that it happened, but it was pretty damn close. I was sitting there staring, and I was like, could it really be 31-27, or 30-27 at the end of this game? And then, of course, Josh Allen tried to Josh Allen the Broncos, but could not do it.
If Prater had missed the field goal, you would have had it, huh?
Bruh, I mean, honestly, I expected Prater to miss it as many field goals as he's missed in Denver for Denver.
Jeez.
I mean, I honestly did expect him to miss it.
He was money.
Here's the thing. I am taking my Broncos. Call me a homer. I don't care. I am taking my Broncos. I do think that Sean Payton has something up his sleeve, just the way his quiet confidence. Normally, he's very arrogant. He's had a quiet confidence during this whole week. During every interview, it's Stidham's going to step in. We're going to run the same type of plays. It's just going to be run differently because he has a different skill set than Bo Nix. I don't think he's going to be the hero of the game. Stidham doesn't need to be the hero of the game, but he's going to throw a couple of touchdowns as long as he doesn't throw more than 1 pick or have more than 1 turnover. Him. I'm not talking about the running back, Harvey. I'm not talking about any of them. I'm talking about him. The Broncos can win this game, and I've got the Broncos winning this game 27-21. That's the game.
In response to about the quiet confidence of Sean Payton, was it yesterday's addressing the press conference after practice where he said that the Broncos fans need to bring it. They need to bring it this weekend, and then they'll have give it all they got because they'll have 2 weeks of rest. That's not a quiet confidence.
That is quiet confidence. That is quiet. I mean, it's a bit arrogant. No,
that's making a prediction. No, there's some things that
I'm saying the quiet confidence. Like if he says we're gonna beat their ass on Sunday, that's not quiet confidence. But to say, hey, y'all buy in. You're gonna have 2 weeks to settle in on this next game.
Which game was that Evan Ingram had like his only good game this season? Was that the
Washington game?
Washington,
but it was only because of the 40-yard play in overtime, or else it would have been another 30-yarder.
Yeah. See, so maybe I don't know, like things like that. Like, is Evan Ingram going to actually do something? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that meme where you're poking him with a stick.
Some of those downfield
please
passes.
do something. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Stidham, a different set of eyes, a different style of play. Maybe he's going to hit Evan Ingram. I don't know. That's pure speculation. That's pure just me imagining shit out of thin air. But so there is possibility that J.K. Dobbins comes back. Maybe not, maybe limited snap count.
Bring that up,
but that could be a factor.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that what is it? Pat Bryant is probably not going to play, and
I heard he was
Franklin.
a full participant in practice.
Yeah, but
Pat Bryant.
But
Pat
you
Bryant
still got to
was.
clear the protocols.
Yeah.
You could participate and then you'd like fail one of the tests or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if that short two receivers, which kind of forces the Broncos' hands to involve Mims, who seems to just like make magic happen every time they incorporate him into the offense.
He had a huge game against Buffalo.
Huge game.
Yeah.
So like maybe that's a good sign that like maybe make Sean Payton have to use Mims and utilize him, and that could lead to some success. I think if Mims can stick with that with his MO of making big plays happen on the offense.
Sure.
Here's the thing: those passes that Bo Nix. Some of those passes that Bo Nix was missing down the field, Stidham can make those passes. He's a little bit more accurate than Bo Nix is. It's just that Bo Nix is a different style of quarterback, and he's a gamer, man, and he can still throw the ball. A lot of people like to liken him to Tebow, but Tebow really couldn't throw the ball. Tebow was a great football player, but he was not a great quarterback.
I don't even think Tebow was really a great football player.
I think he was.
He was a great athlete.
He didn't want to. Well, okay, that's arguable. But to me he was a great football player. Like if he would have tried to be a running back, he might have been like a Mike Allstott type running back and would have been really had a good long
or if he
career.
if he could catch, he could be a tight end.
But he could run the ball. I don't know about catching. But he could run the ball.
He
He
was just
clearly
built like
did
a
that.
tight end.
Built like a tight end, but could be the hugest running back, like Jerome Bettis style running back that the league could have saw. But
Just
anyways,
big
I digress on that point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But my point is that Stidham has a little bit of more accuracy downfield than Bo Nix has, and he can hit those passes that Bo Nix was missing.
Right.
I do think that he's going to come out. If he doesn't come out nervous, he's going to come out on fire. But if he comes out nervous, then the Broncos are going to be in for a long-ass day. They really are. But if J.K. Dobbins can come back, that gives the Broncos an even better edge because now you get efficient running.
So everything you're alluding to, I think this is where I think the game is going to be, kind of make or break for both teams. Like, when we talk about how important the trenches are, right? Like on one side of the ball, I think, we're pretty confident that Denver is going to get pressure on Drake May, right? Drake May was sacked 5 times in each of those 2 playoff games. Denver's pass rush we know is elite and comes at you from many different directions. That should be advantage Broncos. Like we feel good about that. I think what's going to be interesting is the other side, the Broncos offensive line, which we know has been one of the best in the league all year against the Patriots pass rush.
And they're getting
right?
their center back, their starting center, the Broncos are.
The Patriots pass rush has had ups and downs this year, but they're playing some of their best football right now. I think they had 9 sacks in their 2 playoff games, and it seemed like Stroud and Herbert were under a lot of pressure.
They were under duress
every time they drop back, right? If the Broncos are going to take full advantage of Stidham's huge arm, he's got to have time to be not only comfortable on the short throws, but also for guys to get downfield so he can take those shots.
They're going to have to build
stuff
that
like
up.
that. And, especially if Dobbins, whether he plays or not, if he plays, we think he's going to be on a snap count. And Harvey hasn't had the same running success without, Dobbins as a complement, right? His success has been in the passing game. And so, if the Broncos are going to control this game the way they need to control it, to take the pressure off of Stidham, to give that pass rush the opportunity to get a lead to go after May with, right? It's going to be, can that Broncos offensive line neutralize what has been a couple of the best games in a row for that Patriots defensive line of this entire season, or will they get, in Stidham's head early and often, get him rattled and get him out of his timing on what he wants to do?
Well, to your point, the Broncos are one of the top teams in running screens. That can neutralize that type of speedy defense. I mean, that's how a lot of teams neutralize the Denver Broncos, is they try to throw a lot of screens. It's just that the Denver Broncos linebackers are really good at sniffing them out. Why? Because the Denver Broncos run a lot of screens.
Yes.
So they see them in practice all the time against the best team that runs them. Like Sean Payton has some of the you watch some of those screenplays, they're like poetry if you know what you're looking at. So I think the Broncos will have the skill set to beat that, to utilize those type of screens, especially with Harvey, and possibly burn him. J.K. Dobbins, I mean, the Broncos have had still an efficient and effective running game without him. That's just icing on the cake. The Broncos will have to control the clock and allow their defense to breathe and rest. And the Broncos definitively cannot play from behind in this game. The Denver Broncos defense cannot allow Drake May and the Pats to score in their first 3 or 4 drives. They need 3 and outs. They need to strike fear into the hearts of the New England offense. First 3 possessions, no score, no field goal, no nothing. I want to see 3 and outs. If they can do that, the Broncos will mollywop this team. I promise you. I don't care who's at quarterback.
Mollywop.
Yes.
Mollywop.
They will mollywop this team. They will mop them up and down the field.
Can you say that on YouTube?
Yes. Ooh. Did you beat me, Vinny?
Man,
I'm in big fucking trouble, man. I'm coming to your house.
Man, I think why are we forgetting to mention a huge key to this game and the Broncos' top secret weapon? 1 reception, 7 yards, touchdown. Fat boy touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Why did that dude look bigger than everybody in the world?
Because he is. Dude, there's nothing better than
everybody's trying to high five him, and even guys that are 6'7" are jumping.
There's nothing better to watch than a fat boy touchdown, man.
Right.
You gotta say.
Right.
Number 73 out here.
He wasn't even a fat boy though. Like if you look at him, he's 315 pounds. He's solid.
Yeah, I mean,
like
maybe.
he's a tree trunk, bro. No, like you see some of these guys, they have like my pudge.
Jersey looking a little tight.
That dude's solid, dog.
Crumb with a B, man.
That dude is solid, bro. I definitely when that corner hit his knees,
jersey,
and when
there you go, you get it.
You know when that corner hit him when in that end zone, you know he was like, "Hey, did anybody get the license plate on that truck?" Like that dude is ginormous. I would have just been like, "Oh, he's in the end zone. I'm not even trying to." I'd have made a business decision at that point, bro.
6'7", 315. That's a big man.
That's a big dude. He's solid. That's a mountain of a man.
What, 6'7"?
Yeah. All right.
I believe I'm leaving.
Myself plugging stuff. I'm out.
I knew I smelled. Never mind.
All right, let's talk some B-ball. Nuggets just won. There's a whole bunch of games going on tonight, so it looks like Houston lost to the 76ers when I was driving in. Houston was up in that game, and it looks like 76ers came back. Charlotte beat Orlando like a drum, 124-97. That game, probably judging by the score, was not as close as it sounds. Dallas is still playing Golden State right now. Dallas is up 113-104. You've got the Chicago Bulls beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota 98-95. So that's a close game.
Hate the Wolves.
Can we just say rest in peace to the relevant part of Steph Curry's career with Jimmy Butler's torn ACL?
Oh man. Yep, that's a tough one.
It's sad.
Himmy butt.
Bro.
Himmy Butts is out.
Yeah, Golden State.
We have to go. Good
Golden
night,
State could
everybody.
probably kiss their season goodbye.
You know what? All those games. I mean, I love
Unless
the
they
NBA.
trade for
but
AD.
Is it wrong for me to say that Giannis needs to get traded from Milwaukee if Milwaukee wants to contend in the next 5 years? And,
Do you think who's going to trade for him though?
And
Who's going to trade for him?
And the Warriors need to trade Steph if
Who's
they want to
taking
contend
that
in the next
contract?
5. Who's going to trade for Giannis?
Yeah. Who can?
Whoever. Well, that's the question. The question
That's
is
what I
not
said.
who wants him, but who can make
Who
the cap
can.
space for
they're
it.
gonna have
Right,
to. They're gonna have to
exactly.
take his brothers too.
That's exactly my point. So who can sign him?
Did you see Peyton Watson's stat line tonight?
I have not, but he had like 20-something points when I
35 points, 6 3-points made, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks.
10-16. The man's cooking.
I love CB, but I think they extended the wrong guy.
Man, we'll see.
You gotta work with the information you have available. CB
No
was
doubt.
balling
And I
out,
still,
there was
I'm
no
still
way
happy
you're
with the
gonna know.
sign. I'm still happy. I love CB.
I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, if CB was running with this crew and getting this big a share of the offense, you don't know if he'd be dropping 25 a night too. You know,
Bro,
Could
Peyton Watson needs to stay in the starting role.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson needs to ride the pine and come off the bench, even when he
get
comes
traded.
back. or trade.
Just trade
If
him.
you ask Lucas, just get rid of him. Get rid of him now, right, Lucas?
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure he's in the chat right now.
AG plus 23.
Bro, they balled
Mr.
out.
Nugget.
They balled out tonight, but what happened against the Lakers the other night, man? That pissed me
I
off.
mean, they balled out against the 10-win Wizards, but
Yeah, exactly. Like the Lakers are not great or anything.
And what happened in that Charlotte game? After all that talk we had about how Charlotte, mollywopped the Thunder a month or two ago, That was rough.
That was rough, man.
Sorry, I hate to dwell on it. It's been a fun show. We've been all excited for Denver winning and stuff like that. And then it's like, and then the Nuggets got smoked by Charlotte.
Yeah, but they still have 30 wins.
Yeah, well, again,
So-
they don't need to set the world on fire right now. They just got to
They're still plus 600 to win.
They just
and
got to stay attached, man.
They're still the second highest bet upon team to win it all.
Yeah, 'cause people probably don't want to root for the Thunder, so that makes sense.
Well, I mean, the Thunder is number one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
would probably be a bigger number one if people didn't hate watching them,
Facts. Mad facts. Okay, well, I hate to see us go, but I love to watch us leave. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for tuning in this week. That was just a
Ooh,
weird
how
way
to
to end the
interpret
show.
that, yeah. Hot mic!
Mike's a hot.
We will see y'all next week. Same bat time.
Shut 'em off.
Same bat channel. Vinny, cut this man off.
Shut him off.
We will see y'all. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Sportz Phenz. We will have social media.
Give him an AI outro next week, Vinny.
Follow us on social
Take
media.
the mic out of his
Should
hands.
we'll see y'all next week.
Good, Broncos.
On
Go
social
Broncos,
media.
baby.